The best real estate brokers know their markets intimately, but few have the kind of deep roots that come from truly growing up inside the geography they serve. Andres Aiza has worked his entire career in Houston, and that connection runs deeper than professional experience. This is a market he learned to read long before he ever closed his first deal. Houston doesn't make things easy for anyone. The city sprawls across energy cycles and logistics corridors, powered by the kind of industrial muscle that keeps supply chains moving nationwide. Working this real estate market means understanding which corridors are overheated, which submarkets are quietly tightening, and which landowners have held the same parcels for decades without ever listing them. Aiza grew up here, attended St. Thomas High School, and earned his degree from the University of Houston. Today he works as a senior associate at Alpine Partners, focusing on the greater Houston industrial market. Through investment sales, project leasing, and owner representation. But his path into brokerage wasn't direct. Before real estate, Aiza spent years at Top Foods Inc., a company that manufactured and imported tortilla chips from Mexico. That supply chain experience wasn't incidental. Understanding how goods actually move and what tenants need from their spaces is knowledge you can't get from licensing courses alone. It comes from proximity to operations. And Aiza carried that perspective into brokerage when he made the transition. At Alpine Partners, Aiza primarily represents property owners, helping them lease, sell, or reposition industrial assets in one of the country's most active logistics markets. Houston sits perfectly positioned between energy infrastructure, port access, and distribution networks, reaching across the Sunbelt. His work involves more than finding buyers or tenants. It's about timing, pricing, lease structure, and understanding where each property fits in a market that moves quickly. He aligns every transaction with his clients' long-term goals, rather than chasing short-term wins. Aiza also handles tenant representation, viewing it as a complement to his owner-side practice. Seeing deals from both perspectives sharpens his ability to negotiate structures that work over the full life of an agreement. Among his completed transactions are deals involving both local Houston businesses and Fortune 500 companies, requiring different approaches, but the same discipline of matching structure to client needs. Being bilingual in English and Spanish provides meaningful access in Houston's diverse business community. Many owners and investors prefer conducting relationships in Spanish, and clear communication in their preferred language builds the trust that sustains multi-transaction relationships. Outside his brokerage work, Aiza supports Heroes for Children and volunteers with Loaves and Fishes, viewing community involvement as inseparable from understanding his place in the city where he's built his career. For the complete story of how Andres Aiza built his practice in Houston's industrial market, read the full article at infinitesites.com.